Welcome back. You're still tuned into Trading Hour on CNBC-TV18, where Capacite Infraprojects reported a good quarter and saw strong revenue growth of 23% on a YOY basis. Margins expanded, likely due to improvement in execution as well. To discuss this and more, we have Mr. Subir Malhotra, the Executive Director of the company, joining in now to take a few questions. Mr. Malhotra, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, it's been a strong quarter when we talk about the P&L. This despite the fact that a lot of these orders were, or execution was deferred due to elections as well. But if I look at the working cycle, the working capital cycle, that increased. It deteriorated to 213 days versus 198 days, which we saw at the end of FY24. What led to this? We saw some net debt increase as well. Was it just a quarterly phenomenon? And are you seeing improvement going forward?
It's just a quarterly. Well, first of all, thanks for having me over. But having said that, this is just a quarterly phenomenon. Q2 is always a strange place to be in. The rains take a big hit on what execution throws up. So despite the rains having hit us by almost 20 odd days in the quarter, I am glad to get back to the markets that the EBITDA is up, the PAT is up, PBT is looking great. And I think we've had a very good quarter. Rather, I would say we've had a better quarter than the Q1 also.
So what will the working capital days look like going forward, Mr. Malhotra? And what about the net debt as well? Have you been able to get more in terms of realizations and debtors as well?
Undoubtedly, that is always happening. And that is a very proactive case which the management follows up of getting old debts realized. But from a net debt basis, I think we are at 0.11, which by industry standards is very healthy. And I don't think we've really had a big change in the net debt over the past few quarters also. Minor ups and downs are always a matter of working, but we've always remained at that base figure.
Okay, so the working capital days, if you can give us a number, what will it look like by the end of this fiscal? And net debt at these levels, 0.12 is the net debt to equity ratio. That is where it remains?
Yes, so I would not want to be very forward-looking, but I can only say that they would get better. But having said all of that, there is a very poor picture of how I read the balance sheets, and that is cash PAT. And cash PAT is gone up by almost more than 100% in Q2. We were at 63 odd crores, if I remember, on Q1, and we are sitting on a cash PAT in excess of 135. I think it's close to 138 crores as we speak for the ending of H1. So net debt is healthy, cash is there in the company, orders are coming in from all sectors which are going strong. So I don't see any issue on what I had last got back to the markets of the CAGR that we are going to get to.
Okay, Mr. Malhotra, good morning. This is Vinnii joining in the conversation. What I also want to understand is, you've said that H2 is going to be better than H1. You have given a revenue guidance of 25%. In H1, you have managed 28%. Then does that merit in terms of an upward revision of the guidance?
No, we would stick with that guidance for the moment. And if we do better, it would always be a nice, pleasant surprise for everybody.
Okay, all right. I wanted to get a sense of your MADA and CIDCO projects. You have been seeing updates there. There are new things happening. They've gathered space as well. What's been the execution run rate in both these projects monthly? How does it pan out going forward now that Q2 tailwinds are behind us?
Undoubtedly, CIDCO is doing very well. CIDCO, we are now touching almost 50 crores of a monthly revenue, which is only being projected as going to do better in the coming quarter. And Q3 and Q4 have traditionally and historically been very, very strong quarters for this industry at large, because the rains are behind us, the issues of festivals are generally behind us, and we are now talking about strong working clear runs till the end of the year. So traditionally, we've had very strong numbers coming out from these two quarters. And that is where I think you were also talking about numbers being better than what they were in H1.
Okay. Mr. Malhotra, in the past conversation that we'd had with the company's management, you all had highlighted that pricing has come in higher due to lower supply of contractors. Is that still the case? What is the scenario on that front?
Yes. So you see, what has happened now is that be it government jobs in the public sector or in the private sector, the scale of those jobs has gone up. We regularly hear of jobs of 1,000 crores happening in the government sector. And now, even more surprisingly, we hear of 1,000 plus crore jobs happening in the private sector also. So just as a case in point, we've managed to bag a very marquee client with us in this quarter, which is Signature Global. I'm glad to report that it's a 1,200 crore plus order only on shell and core without finishings that we've managed to get. So such orders are becoming the norm as we speak in the industry. And so these kind of orders demand certain skill sets from contractors who are in the organized sector. And that is why the numbers of those are few. And yes, I may not say that they demand abnormal rates, but they demand just rates which the industry is willing to give to them.
Okay. Last quick question before we let you go, Mr. Malhotra. Because of the ban on construction that we've been seeing in NCR Delhi region, has that impacted revenues in any way? If yes, there's a number to it. How long do you think that will be?
Well, I sit in Grab 4 bound Delhi at the moment and I see smoggy things outside the window. But yes, construction is on a go slow, not on a go slow, it's on halt as we speak completely. But we have now come to the fact and understood the fact that we will waste some time in the month of November, just as what we waste some time in the month of July and August in the Western sector due to rains. So it is not something that is unheard of or it's coming for the first time. We plan for it. We do alternate activities in it. We do internal, consolidations of, revenues and stores, etc. in this period. And we are aware that this is always happening in the month of November.
Okay, Mr. Malhotra, thank you so much, for joining in with us on CNBC TV18 and giving us your views in terms of numbers and the outlook going forward for the company. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. After the break, we'll talk to Abhishek Kumar from JM Financial Institutional Securities to talk to us about the IT sector trends.